In this workshop, Past, Present, and Future, we'll learn how staying in the present can help us experience greater safety, happiness, and ease. So before we begin, check in with how mindful we've been so far today. Have you brought mindful awareness to your heart, the mind itself, your body, your breath? What about your experience of your environment and the space around you? Check in with why it is that you chose this topic, past, present, and future. What was it about the topic that piqued your curiosity, your interest? And hopefully you're aware right now of how you feel in the body and any emotions that you associate with those feelings. We'll hold that awareness as we move through the worksheet. Aware right now of any positive or negative stories that you're already attaching to or relating to this topic. Aware of any biases or expectations. And aware if that arises as we move through the worksheet as well. Remember that there's many others who are feeling the same way that you do about the topic. And remember too that your feelings might change as we go through the worksheet. And then ask yourself, how can I apply increased mindfulness as it relates to past, present, and future? How can I apply this increased mindfulness to my daily life? So past, present, and future. In mindfulness and meditation, you often hear people talk about the importance of being present. But what does being present mean exactly, and why is it so important? And how also do we refine and define present moment awareness? When we take a big picture view of past, present, and future, it's easy to understand how staying present can help us experience greater safety, greater happiness, and greater ease, right? Because when our mind is occupied with the past, for example, when we're ruminating over past thoughts and experiences, or when we're preoccupied for the future, for example, when we're worrying about what ifs, or we're involved with future thinking, the mind by nature is not rooted in reality. It's not rooted in what's happening right here and right now. Because the past and future are only appearances. They're only appearances. When our ruminations about the past or worrying about the future is unpleasant, we're robbing ourselves of present moment contentment. Right? Because even if our memories of the past or thoughts about the future are pleasant, contentment, happiness, peace of mind, these are things that cannot be experienced anywhere but right here and right now. By staying rooted in the present moment, we're available for the experience, the felt experience of contentment versus the idea of contentment, right? We're able to become more fully integrated with the reality of contentment. And reality as it's presenting itself to us right now versus how it appears in our minds, right? In the following meditation, we're going to practice noting when it is that our mind gets stuck in the past, or when it is that we become distracted by future thinking. We do this by attempting to anchor the mind to present moment awareness of breath. Because the breath is one thing that's certainly happening right here and right now. So to stay with breath, we can stay right here. So take a comfortable seat in a quiet place. Close your eyes And just breathe in and out through your nose. Stay present with your attention on breath. It might be helpful to use a verbalization such as now I'm breathing in, now I'm breathing out. And then as it does, eventually the mind will wander. If you notice that the mind is wandering off into the past, simply say silently to yourself, past, and then return to present moment awareness of breath. Likewise, each time that you notice your mind wandering off into the future, just make a quick note of it by saying silently the word future, and then return to breath awareness. Repeat this process as many times as you need to. Once you notice the mind is no longer present here with breath, just note where it is, past or future. And without lingering, come back to the present, return to breath awareness as quickly as you can. Eventually, as we become more practiced in staying present with the breath itself, we can refine our definition of past and future. Are you, for example, lingering with awareness of the first part of breath in? Label that past. Are you thinking forward towards the completion of the exhale? Label it future. And is it even possible to stay exactly with present? Hit pause if you'd like to. Play with the meditation for as long as you would like. And then we'll open our eyes, come back and answer a few questions about what it is that we noticed. So we'll begin by describing our experience with the meditation in general. What was it like trying to stay present with the breath and labeling our thinking as either past or future? And did this practice of labeling, did it help you let go a little quicker of what it was that was distracting you? And did the labeling give you permission of sorts to more quickly return to the present? Did you notice that you were speaking one label more than the other, past or future? And then describe what it felt like to be fully integrated with the present moment. Even if you felt like you might have been there for just a split second. In general, have you ever had a memory of the past that changed over time? Have you ever worried about a future circumstance, given it a lot of time and a lot of effort, and then it never happened? Do you have a sense of how past experiences might cloud your perception of the present if you're still carrying them with you? How might that be? And then likewise, if the mind is forward thinking, always in the future, how could that change your perception of the present? And what would it feel like or be like to experience the present moment fully? Only the present moment, without memory or without future thinking involved. Can you describe a time in which you were experiencing complete contentment and joy, total happiness and bliss? In that moment, where were you? Were you in the past, the present, or the future? Can you describe a time when you're certain you were completely integrated with the present moment? And what happened? How did that feel? How do you think you would benefit from being more present? So this meditation is quite simple, although it can be quite challenging. When we first begin to meditate especially, we find it very challenging to be still in the present moment. But over time, we get better at recognizing when the mind has wandered to the past or jumped ahead to the future, and we become better able to quickly return to the present, right? So if you find that you're getting more accomplished in staying present with the breath, as we did a little bit in our guided meditation here, you can begin to ever more subtly define the past and the future. Because past and future are always in relation to something, right? In relation to the present and to each other. So for example, if we're present with this one inhale breath, where in the process of breathing in are we present? We can be present with the first part of the breath as we begin to breathe in, present with the middle part of the breath, present as we begin to complete the breath in, and so forth, right? And then we can break that down even further. Are we present with this 1 microsecond of our experience? And we can break that down further, the first part of that microsecond, and so on, right? So we drill down and down and down. Eventually, we might realize that the present moment is actually very difficult to find. And we just explore that in meditation and see what it is that we notice. So why is it that the present moment keeps us connected to reality? Well, because the past and future are mere appearances in our minds. We know that memories of the past are always changing. We know that worries about the future are not real because sometimes our future vision doesn't happen. We cannot put a finger on the past nor the present and say, yes, this is one static thing and it's real. So why then do we waste so much time there? We spend so much emotional energy on rehashing the past or forward thinking to the future. And that's energy that's not based in reality. It's just energy. We unnecessarily waste time in emotional states of unease when our past and future thinking is unpleasant. And again, this present moment is the only place in which contentment is possible. So when we're in the past or we're in the future, whether our feelings about those things are pleasant or unpleasant, our feelings about those things are merely apparitions, merely energy. When we relax fully into the present, we're able to connect to what's real and connect to the contentment which is available right here, right now. The contentment that arises when we don't need to be anywhere else other than where it is that we already are, which is here.